Hello to anyone watching, which I don't really expect people will be watching. I'm recording myself for my own analysis of my trades and my behavior in trades. I'm waiting for the US session to start. It starts in about 15 minutes. I was just looking at my European trading session, which I ended up basically break even. A very frustrating open to the DAX, where I continuously tried to short it up here, and then it didn't work twice, so I decided to go long. Got stopped out for a small loss on that too, and then took another short and made break even for the session, and then I stopped trading it because it looked really kind of like some kind of weak bull channel, a broad bull channel with deep pullbacks. But at the start of the session I was expecting it to go lower because of the overall, if I look at the 60-minute chart, I was saying to myself some significant damage was done to this bull trend. This bull trend here, by these, so it formed a trading range up here, and then it broke the low and had a 300-point sell-off in the overnight in the Asia, but it missed a measured move down here of this trading range, which I think could be the target. So then the DAX opened here on this bar, and it just sort of kept grinding higher, and I was thinking I need to try and short this somehow, because I think it's going lower, and possibly even lower than this measured move. But I just couldn't do it in the hour and a half that I was trying, and then it happened later. It had 3 pushes up in the end and then sold off. So yeah, I think it's going down here eventually. But I'm not going to look at the DAX now because it is really a piece of garbage, the DAX. It's really hit and miss for me. It is so trappy and just difficult in the actual European session. And then sometimes outside of market hours it does some wild moves. Like today in the Asia session it dropped 300 points, but because my spread in the Asia session is like 6 points, I try not to trade it, or actually I don't trade it because I'm scalping for small amounts and a 6-point spread is just out of the question. And then in the session it has a range of like 100 points. It's so frustrating. Right now I'm looking at the NASDAQ, which is set to open in about 13 minutes, and right now it's trading exactly at the close of yesterday. Don't think there's any news tonight, but I'll check. New home sales, orange folder. That means moderate impact, medium impact expected. That's at 12 a.m. my time, so half an hour after the US session opens. Some FOMC member talking. Secretary Besson talking at 4 a.m. I won't be awake for that. So it doesn't look like there's much on. It has been a weird week for me because Monday was a market holiday. Well, actually, it was a bank holiday. I'm not sure. I think the markets are still open. I don't know. But I didn't trade it because I saw that everything is on holiday. It's Switzerland, Europe, France, Germany, UK, US, Canada. Actually, Canada wasn't, but the main ones are. Then on Tuesday, I didn't trade it because there was a religious holiday for Muslims. And I had to fall asleep at Monday night and wake up early on Tuesday. And basically, I didn't trade Tuesday. And then I started trading yesterday and had a slightly more than a 1% day. And then today in the DAX, frustratingly, I had a break-even session. So nothing much happened for me this week. So it feels like a weird week. I'll try my best here in the US session. On top of everything else, I've just been sick and this week just a little bit exhausted from the flu and from having to go around places like meeting people and talking, and ended up having a meeting with this guy from my broker that manages my account, supposedly. He was in Melbourne and he was asking if we can meet up for lunch. I'm like, yeah, okay, but that was like 2 weeks ago, but I didn't know I was going to have a flu and just feel like crap and just I just kind of feel like a lot of things you do in life are just kind of sort of how best to explain it. Things that you do are just kind of like you're just doing them and nothing has been achieved. Only time has been expended. Like going to different, whatever, like talking. And then you talk about, generalities about market conditions and volatility. I'm just like, none of this conversation actually matters for my trading because the only thing that matters is the truth, which is the chart. Just the chart. The chart is the truth. Everything else is an opinion. Only time has been expended, nothing more. This week for me. Just talking to people. Think about the only worthwhile thing I've done this week is I've spent I think about 3, 4, 5 hours yesterday playing with my nephew, and probably about 6, 7 hours today playing with my nephew. We played for around 4 hours this morning. Went for a walk, kicked the ball. Then he had a nap and I had a nap too. And when we woke up, I played with him again for about 2, 3 hours. Oh no, 1.5, 2.5 hours before he went to bed just before. And it's now 11:30 at night and I'm starting to get ready for the US session. So that's about the only thing that I've done this week that's worthwhile. I also wasted some time going to the shops and buying pants and stuff, and just nothing really achieved there. I really just wanted to, I really just like to feel at the end of the week like I've done some serious effort, into trading, and even if I'm like haven't done all that well in the week, that I've shown up and tried to position myself and given myself a chance to make some money. If I do that, like for example in the DAX today, yeah, it was frustrating and I just tried to short it and it just wasn't working and blah blah blah. But at least I was there. I gave myself an opportunity. I gave myself an opportunity to do something, to be successful at something worthwhile. And this week I don't really feel like that, like I've done that. I've just been busy with meaningless things. I did catch up with a good friend of mine. He's, well, I went to uni with him, and we've been friends ever since. We went into the same job in ambulance, and we worked at the same station. Kind of share a lot of interests, military history, politics, that kind of stuff, and it's been friends ever since. Caught up with him for a skate. Had a Palmer at a pub, and a beer. That was pretty good. Oops. Thinking about buying myself a pair of skates. Boa Vapor. Not these specific ones. The ones I was looking at are about $500 or something. Because the ones I have are too big. And they get a bit sort of floppy feeling when I'm skating. And I feel like I'm going to catch an edge and fall over if I'm doing sort of quick step overs or something. Or maneuvering, turning, stopping. I think it's one of the greatest hobbies I've ever had in my life. Skating on the ice. So fun. Two minutes off on the open here. At which point the gates of hell will be unleashed. Will be opened. Yesterday was a small bear bar. This happened pre-market, so a small bear bar The market opened up here and it closed down here and had a wick on the bottom. A small bear bar following some trading range. I don't know how to look at this. It's a huge bull trend, but a small bear bar yesterday. It's coming up here as a bull bar because that's the Globex open here. But the US session actually opened up here. So it is a small bear bar. In the regular trading hours, if you look at the regular trading hours. Okay. What's this guy doing? He's short already or what? He's short the market. Short the Dow. Okay, interesting. Look at this bar. The Dow. Oi. Oh, it's good for him. Short Dow, he's already closed it. Nice little scalp. Good job. Whoa. What's happening in the Dow? Just dropped 120 points in the first 40 seconds. Cool. I'm looking at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ back above 30k. DAX going lower. The piece of crap that I was trying to trade unsuccessfully. Now finally making moves down. Now that I'm not even looking at it. Sometimes I just hate the way the Germans trade. They're so sneaky and trappy. Whatever. So NASDAQ traded above the high of the Globex range. Oh, not quite actually. I think the Globex high was up here, yeah. But seemingly a decently strong rejection of that breakout attempt above there. seem to be doing the opposite of each other. The Dow went down on the open and is now rallying, and the Nasdaq did the opposite, it went up and is now dropping, falling hard. 100 points in this bar. Almost 100 points. $90 points. Bar 1 is a bear bar on the 5-minute chart. just decided to take a little scalp because I saw this as a breakout. Follow through bear bar and another follow through bear bar. 3 consecutive bear bars. To me that was a short and a fairly high probability scalp, but I did not get a 1-to-1. Got a little less than a 1-to-1. Following a strong rejection of this breakout attempt up here. See something here. Where was my entry precisely? It was like there. It was at 28.1. 28.1. Okay, so I took about 25 points. Had I not taken that, I would have been stopped out for 11 points. If I had trailed my stop to above the prior bar high. The DAX still making a new low. And then the pullback. Dow, big recovery. Big recovery. A major trend reversal in the Dow. It opened here, fell, and then complete reversal, a major trend reversal. Well, the Nasdaq still going lower. the Dow and the Nasdaq are just really just doing the opposite of each other. Oh. Spike in a bear channel. A tight bear channel here. Spike. Bear channel. Big recovery in gold. Thinking about buying this bar here. I just thought my risk is a bit big, but it seemed like a good reversal bar because it's engulfing the two prior bars and it's closing on its high. I think had I've bought it, I would have been stopped out break even because I might have moved my stop up to break even. First 15-minute buy in the NASDAQ is a big bear bar. seeing 3 consecutive bull bars, however, after a decent move down and big tails on top of this bar. Some selling pressure still present. Seeing if I would, seeing what my risk would look like if I were to buy above this second 15-minute bar. Decided to buy the NASDAQ here. Quick $300 profit there. I'm going to take it. Which is more than a 1-to-1. The reason I decided to buy it right there is because this 15-minute bar was closing and I thought there was a high degree of certainty for me, at least 60%, that once this bar opens it will go at least a tick above the prior bar high in order to put in stop entry longs. At least a tick. I thought I could quickly scalp it a little bit, but was not confident to hold it because this big bar here. Still gotta respect that it was a big sell-off at the open. But with this scalp, I've noticed that a lot of the times the market sort of wants to almost trap longs here, but my plan is not to get trapped. My plan is to have an extremely tight stop loss, like below this bar, and try and scalp for a 1-to-1. So my risk was about $220. I'll have to look back at the video, but my risk was about 220 and I made about 330, so a little over 1-to-1. So my risk was less than 1%, and my reward was 1% of the value of my account, or just a little bit over. The majority of the time I'm usually trying to identify where I think a high probability scalp is for like 20, 30 points. In this case, 33 points. My first scalp was 25 points. A little less than a 1-to-1. But I thought that was a high probability scalp as well. Like, there was this strong rejection of the breakout attempt up here, above this swing high in the pre-market. A really strong rejection there. And I thought, okay, so it's a spike down. Let's see if it gets follow through. It got one follow through bar, weak, and then it got a slightly better looking follow through bar, which closed on its low. And I thought if I sell there, I would at least be able to get a scalp out of it with my stop above these two bars. Because if it starts rocketing up here, if I sell there and it starts going above this bar, I have no interest in holding that position. Because then I don't know what it's doing. It's going up here to fill this gap to the prior bar low. It's going up to make a new high. I don't know what it's doing, but my interest was in getting a high probability scalp there and risking very little and making a few points, and that's it. I'm not interested in staying in the trade for 20 minutes watching it go against me. Same with this one. I saw this bar here on the 15-minute bar was about to close a bull bar, closing near its high. I thought, well, the market might attract more buyers there because it's a big bull bar, closing near its high, looks like a reversal bar. And I thought it will at least go a few ticks above that bar to at least trap stop entry longs above that bar. I'm happy with that scalp. Not sad that I got out of it. Nope. If I could make $300 in a few seconds, I ain't complaining. With my idea and I guess style of trading, I don't make very smart decisions if I'm in a position and it's going against me for like 20, 30, 40 minutes. And I'm sitting there stressing, even if it's a small position, like a tiny position, I get equally frustrated if it's moving against me, because I know that if I'm accumulating small losses, my account will die to 1,000 paper cuts. So I don't want to accumulate small losses. I don't want to be in a small position, watching it go against me for like 20, 30 minutes. Just because it's not that much money. So my preference in trading is scalping, being in positions for seconds to minutes, not more. I really admire people who can sit in a position for like an hour and just watch it pull back against them. And like I watched one trader that was in a position for like 40 minutes making good profit, and then he's watching it pull back against him for like 25 minutes. I'm just like, bruh, that would just be really irritating to me. This looks good now in the NASDAQ. A nice rally. A spike in a bear channel, and then that turned out to be, in theory, a bull flag, and it broke out above that channel, and it'd probably get 2 legs up. This could be the second leg. Could get more legs up, but at least 2 legs. Let's see what takes place here, because if the bulls get 2 legs up, maybe that's it for the bulls. And then it sells off from there. Guess I'll see. Damn, I should have bought this buy here. My stop loss below it. Something like this. Bought the close of that bar. I'd have a 1-to-1 already. It's okay. So it's trading up to yesterday's close again. The 30,000 number, which is just here. Seems to be a magnet for price today and yesterday. So the bulls do get 2 legs up, and now it's selling off again at yesterday's close. The bulls get 2 legs, 1, pull back, 2. At the break of a channel line here, this bear channel, probably easier to see on a 1-minute chart, but it is a really tight channel. What I've observed often is that when a channel line breaks like this, it's usually at two legs. It's usually followed by a two-legged correction, and then the market decides if it wants to keep selling off on pretty much all time frames. The 30,000 number, possibly a big magnet. I think in the overall big picture, I would not expect the NASDAQ to just simply sell off from 30,000 hard on the larger time frame. I would expect it to make more climactic moves up, like 30,500, 30,000, 31,000 even, before it sells off or does a big correction. I think maybe next week it could sell off a bit more. Wow, look at this now. Wow, new high for the day. Oh my god. This is absolutely climactic. Unreal. So, that's crazy. Wow. This bar here is about 130, 40 points. Cool. 136 points. Wow, that is incredible. I'm about to hit yesterday's high. See how this looks on the big picture. 1 hour chart. So a lot of buyers above 30k. Stop entry longs at 30,000. Maybe. So maybe some traders had a stop entry long at 30,000. And they just started buying like crazy up here. Maybe it'll make a mission move of this. Like this. It's almost there. 250 points up. So maybe, maybe it'll go to 30,150. Which is here. Cool. Very cool. Very cool indeed. I wonder if this bar, this 5-minute bar that just closed, puts the market in an always in long condition where you're just looking for buy signals. I don't trade bars this size because my stop loss has to be huge, but I'm still wondering I'm wondering is because yesterday was technically a bear bar, whether if it goes above yesterday's high, whether more sellers will be selling up there because it was a bear bar, as opposed to buyers buying above yesterday's high, because a bear bar is a bad buy signal, no matter which way you look at it. I think that some of these swing traders who are trading the daily chart would probably use the same ideas for price action that a scalper or an intraday trader would use. If they see a bear bar, they're probably thinking, surely I can find a better buy signal than a bear bar, you know? So why would I buy above a bear bar? Like, seeing a bear bar here is not a good buy signal, you know? Like if you bought above any of these bear bars, you would have been just bad. Whereas seeing a bull bar, okay, buy a bull bar, sure. Buy this bear bar, it goes down more. And then it goes up again. But yeah, I wonder if on the daily chart, traders will see a bear bar and probably won't get that many buyers above it. I don't know. Probably more sellers above it. But right now on the intraday, it's going up. So I don't think there's anything to sell right now. Any good reason to sell? It's a major trend reversal here from the open. It's gone above the high of the day. So there's nothing to sell, it's bullish. It's a strong statement from bulls. This huge bar here. Imagine if you're a bear and you see a bar like this, you're questioning your life decisions. You're questioning, where did it all go wrong for me? I had so much promise. How did it all go so wrong for me? You're probably having those kind of thoughts, which is probably going to make you buy back your short eventually, pushing this market even higher, I imagine. And a trend often starts with a spike. Just like here, a spike started a bear trend, a bear channel. Maybe this spike is going to be the start of a bull channel up. Spike and channel, as described in Al Brooks' trading course. I'm just going to see what time it is in the USA. On the East Coast, so New York time. New York current time. So it is 10:21 a.m. I do believe that 11 a.m. is there's a common reversal time. Not quite 11 a.m. yet. I wonder what the atmosphere is like in the New York Stock Exchange right now. If people are like, yeah, it's going up, yeah, buy it, yeah. Like yelling, calling out buy, whatever. Pressing buttons. No, they're probably very professional. They're just like, oh, it's just money. It's just numbers on a screen, whatever. Just whatever. Someone else's money, not mine. I can't get that song out of my head. The kids song that I play for my nephew, man. So Trump is launching new attacks on Iran. He is so stupid. He just does not seem to be getting it that Iran is not a small country that can be bullied around. They just will not respond to hostility. They will not respond to it. Like, I feel like it's difficult. For example, for me here in Australia, I've have Australian friends and colleagues and stuff, and sometimes they ask me about, because I'm from the Balkans, I'm from Bosnia originally, and they ask me like, oh, so what's happening with you and the Serbs and the Croats and the Bosnians and whatever. I'm just like, to try and explain it in a simple way, it's Europe. Europe is a very old continent, okay? And Europe, it has thousands of years of history, and it has a really bloody and cruel history and past. And most people, there are probably no people in Europe that don't have 1,000-year-old grievances against each other. I mean, that much has happened there, that throughout history, everyone has been, has suffered a lot at the hands of someone else. So there are 1,000-year-old grievances, which is difficult for people in a country of 200 years to understand. That when I'm a Bosnian in Europe and I'm talking to a fringe person, you may not understand, if you're not from Europe, that there are some dynamics there that are not apparent. Because I know that, for example, France has been, often taken the side of the adversaries or the enemies of Bosnia at different times in history. Right? Or if I'm talking to a Greek person, they've often taken the opposite side or the side of the adversaries of Bosnia. And same if you have a Greek person talking to a German person, there might be dynamics there that even I'm not aware of. So with these countries where you have thousands of years of history, if you're an American or an Australian, for that matter, if you're really patriotic and really nationalist, if you take that patriotism and nationalism and multiply it by 1,000, then you'll have an idea of how patriotic and nationalist some of the Europeans are. And the same is true for Iran, because Iranians have some 5,000 years of history. I remember when I was in university, I was studying about a Persian called Ibn Sina. He's known as Avicenna in the West. And he was living some 2,000 years ago in Isfahan. Sorry, maybe like 1,000 years ago in Isfahan. And he developed the concept of quarantine before anybody knew about the existence of bacteria or viruses, because the microscope was only invented like 100 years ago. And that's when they found out about microorganisms. So this country, it has a history so long, and they're so proud of their history, and they're so patriotic. These kind of people just do not give up to war. Okay? They've been fighting war for 5,000 years and longer. Their ancestors have been fighting it for longer. And they live in the bloodiest, some of the bloodiest parts of the world. They are not afraid of war. And this dickhead Trump thinks that they're gonna just surrender because he throws a few bombs at them. I mean, that's just not going to happen. This is what I think some people in young countries like America and, for example, Australia as well, this is what some of them cannot understand about these 1,000-year-old nations they've been through it all before. They've studied their own history. They've studied the hideous sacrifices that their ancestors have made for them to have a country in the first place, and they're just not going to give up. I just think they can't defeat Iran conventionally. They just can't do it. The place is a fortress. It is surrounded by mountain ranges on all sides. If the Americans were to go in there with their tanks, they'd just be ambushed everywhere and cut off and just wrecked, really. America just cannot defeat Iran conventionally. They just can't. But of course Trump has, he's got different things going on in his head, like the Epstein files and what blackmail Israel has on him and what his boss Netanyahu wants of him. He's got different motivations. That's why it all seems so irrational to us, looking on thinking, what the fuck is he doing? But he doesn't care. He's got different. If he was thinking rationally, he would not be attacking Iran. But I don't think I don't think he's thinking about those things. He's just thinking about Netanyahu not revealing the Epstein files. I think Israel is basically running the foreign policy of the US. They have purchased every single politician almost over there. Israel is the boss in America when it comes to foreign policy. And the US military is basically subordinated to Israel's demands. And even now on the news, it was Israeli politicians that were saying we will not allow America to make a peace deal with Iran. Ben Gvir, he was saying that on TV. So they're basically making the decision. Trump was trying to sign a peace deal or attempt some kind of peace deal, and the Israelis like, no, you're not doing it, buddy. We want to fight. We want you to fight Iran for us. A spike, and now it's going sideways to down. Is there a trend line here? Is this what this is going to look like? Something like this. Like that. I think I need to see a little bit more here. Because this bull bar surprised me a lot. And what I think surprises me even more is the follow through of that bull bar was a bear bar. Quick sell off here. Of over 120 points. And then a quick rally. Not sure what's happening. It's 12:30 now for me AM. I think I might call it for tonight and go to sleep now. Get some good rest. Because I've had a very exhausting week, but not having done anything of value. So I was, I think, ranting about at the start of the video, I think. Bullshit. Yeah, I've already been at the computer for an hour and a half, so I might just actually stop it here and be done for the day and come back tomorrow, Friday. hopefully get a decent close for the week tomorrow. Alright,